here. Welcome back. Happy Friday. It is late in the day. It is probably closer to 5 o'clock. Today just kind of one of those days that snuck away. Oh, goodness. So if you are new, my name is Terry. This channel can be a hodgepodge of everything. But lately, Fridays have been what have I been working on, and Tuesday is more of a vlog style with garden and all that stuff. But it's supposed to be a thing on my weight loss journey and our retirement life. And so, like I said, it's kind of a hodgepodge. So today, I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm going to try to keep it not too long, but I do have socks. I have blankets, crochet blankets, and my English paper piecing. And I also have a couple of, I wonder what's in that bag to show you. So I'm just going to start right out with the English paper piecing. This English paper piecing is a mystery sew along on Facebook with, starts with a J. It's one of those days. Well, anyways, I'll put it down. And every 3 weeks she sends out a clue. And clue 8 is out, and I am still on clue 7. Because I'm doing 3/4 inch papers, and it takes a while, and I have a ton of other things I like to do. So there on clue 7, there was 2 rounds to do. I did get the first round done, and I have just started the 4th strip piece of that last round. So I'm gonna have to stand up to show you what it looks like. But see, I just attached this right here. So I don't think, let me move my chair out because it's starting to get big. So right now it's attaching so that it makes the flowers. So this yellow to yellow is clue 6, or clue 7 I mean. And so I got one. I still have the papers in it. There is 2. There is 3. And then 4 is the other way that I just started attaching. And so I have strips like this. I have 2 more to add to this after I get this one on here. But then it will complete this one right here. So, but yeah, I work on this sometimes at night. Sometimes during the daytime. This is the back. So, but that's all hand piecing, and between knitting and crocheting, and my hands can only take so much. So, put it there for a minute. So that would really be all the sewing that I got. Then the next thing is, I'm doing a mystery crochet along, and yeah, I like doing mysteries. So, and I think it's Jonita's, and it's called Sea to Stone. And clue 3 just came out today. I have not touched it yet because I was working on socks, and then this afternoon we had to go run errands and all that stuff. So, but this is what, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver, and blues and browns was the colors. And this is so far what this one's looking like. but it has more of a curve up at the top because now she's turning the circle into a square. And this right here was a bugger. It just, my brain could not wrap around. I could do this part, but when it came to here, it just was a bugger. So, but anyways, so this week's clue, and those come out every Friday. Now we're going into the light brown and dark brown. So, and on this one I am using an eye hook and Red Heart Super Saver. So, all right, so I'm just going to go right into socks, and then I'm going to tell you what I found in my closet in bags I completely forgot about. So I am knitting Christmas socks, and I'm doing our son's, and he is a size 13 foot, and I am doing vanilla socks, or the pattern vanilla. Oh my Lanta. Vanilla socks from the Crazy Sock Lady. I just got to get this untangled here because everything's tangled. Just a second. Just a second. Oh my Lanta. That's what happens when you house two different socks in the same bag and they get kind of tangled. So our son's is a Freckled Whimsy. It is a Christmas club from, no it's not, it is her Halloween club from 2024, and it was called Ghoulish Giggles. And it's on her Splendid Base, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and there's 437 yards or 100 grams. So this was in her club, so if you weren't in her club in that time, you couldn't have gotten it. So I'm doing 2 at a time in tandem. So those are the colors. And both of them, one is a little bit further, but I got, on this one, I got the leg done, the heel flap and turn, and the gussets picked up. So now I just have to work on the foot on this one. For his, I do 72 stitches, and then I just went 59 stitches right here for the leg, and then I just did a traditional heel flap and gusset turn slip stitch one. So this is the first one, and the second one I just got the heel flap and turn, and I still have to pick up the gusset stitches. So, and I use a US 1.25 or 2.25 millimeters. So anyways, that's where I am on those, and then it will just be basically when I get the other one, the gussets decrease down, then it'll just be straight stitching or knitting. And probably what I'll do is the one foot, I'll get it right down to the toe, and then I'll do the other one down to the toe, and then I'll decrease them so that they'll be done about the same time. But you never know. Sometimes when I get right to that toe, within an hour and a half or so, I could have that sock done. So I still have to do for our son's wife, Lindsay, and hers is going to be Halloween, and this one is called Goblin Party from the 2024, and same base and everything. So when his is done, hers will be started, and I will do the same thing where I just knit them tandem, And then when hers is done, then I am going to do for our daughter's husband. This one is from her Christmas Club 2024 reindeer games. Same base and everything. And I still have one more sock to do for our grandson. And then everybody will have a sock for Christmas. I try to do socks for our kids and grandkids. And then Jerry and I throughout, and some years I only get maybe a couple of socks for our children, and everybody else, they don't get anything, because it just depends on what I'm doing. The other one I'm working on is for Jerry, and this is a Christmas one for him, and the ball has fallen apart, which I'm not too happy about because it's a big mess. And this is one of those self-patterning kind. I'm doing this one on 9-inch circulars, and I am just starting his heel, the back, the flap, heel flap. So, but this is how his is looking right now. And his is 60 rounds or 59 rows. And I just, oh, I don't want to lose stitches. And I just started the heel flap, or yeah, the heel flap. And I only got 4 rows on it, so I'm going to have to find stoppers or something so I don't lose. So, because it's a little bit more trickier for me, because I'm just learning these 9-inch, how to do that all in one. I will use the 9-inch circulars, and I'm using a US 1 2.25 millimeters. I will use this until I get to the toe decreases, and then I will switch to magic loop. So, been working on those. And then the surprise. Oh, the other thing I've been working on before I get into what did I find. I started the corner to corner grandma's dishcloth blanket that everybody seems to be doing right now with leftover yarn. I'm using a 6 millimeter, and so far this is where it's looking like. So I just added in the second skein, and this bottom part was one other skein. So I'm not doing minis in mine. I tend to have, when I get done with a sock, I tend to have skeins left, like stuff like this. And so I just am knitting this double held double, so I've got the outside and the inside held, and then I just knit that in there. Now I have not knitted too much on this in the last few days because of what I found in my bags in the closet. Oh my Lanta, sometimes I just surprise myself because I put things away and then I forget. So number one, I found a whole bunch of wound up sock yarn in here with knitting needles in there. And probably from other projects. I gotta weigh these, but I thought that would make a really nice sock set right here. I can either do the sock in the light or the dark, whichever is they look pretty even. But then I would do the the cuffs, heel, and toes in the opposite colors. allergies. Then I really like these, and I've used this in a lot, and I don't think I have enough of this to do socks, but I'm not for sure. But it's almost like a glow in the dark. So I have to weigh these. I might be able to, but they just might be like scrappy socks. And of course, then I found, you know, I have two pairs of free needles now. So, yeah. Oh, my Lanta. So, for whatever reason, those got put aside. Oh, so I don't know. They might go into socks. They might go into the blanket. Who knows? The blankets that I'm doing, like that one I just showed you, the knitted one, it's leftover sock yarn for me, and I usually have between 40, 45, maybe 47, depends on if it's for our son. I definitely will not have hardly anything left. If it's for his wife, then I tend to have a little bit more. If it's for me, I tend to have roughly about 47 grams. And so those I go into blankets. Well, I went into my closet here and I was looking for more sock yarn that had been used, and so I started opening up bags, and I'm like, okay, that's where I found those. But then behind the bag was this basket. I thought, oh, I wonder what's in that basket. So this is the basket. Jerry had bought me this a long time ago, Africa or something like this, where they hand make them. And so, and all the proceeds, a portion of it goes back to them so they continue to do it. Well, inside of it is another sock yarn blanket, and it is a granny square one. And I remember starting this one and really liking it. So I worked on this a little bit once I found it, and this is how far that I had gotten before. And then I added on this outside border here, this color I should say, and now I have added another color here, and this one I turn it so that it stays a little bit more symmetrical, and I am using this right now held double, and I have all of these yarns in here to go into it, and I'm using a G hook. And that's the thing, is I had no hooks with these, and so I had to test, but it looked like a G to me. So, but it's just a standard granny square. I am doing three double crochets in each space and a chain one, and then in the corners I'm doing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. When I get back to here, I will slip stitch in this, and then I will turn my work and I'll chain 2, and then I'll do 2 more doubles and then chain 1 and carry on. I find that it keeps your granny square from being lopsided, because sometimes when you crochet on granny square stuff, it tends to get wonky. And if you turn it, if you can, every time, then that helps prevent that. So I thought, okay, that's fine. So now I've got the mystery one. I have this one, and here's my G hook. And I thought, okay, nothing wrong with, oh, and the knitted one. So I have 3 blankets now. Nothing wrong with that. I can do that. It gives me choices. Well, then there was this basket in there, and it had a bag sitting on it. And I lifted up the bag and I went, oh my word. It's another blanket. This one is just a, it is a solid granny square blanket in double crochet. And this one I got a lot farther on this one. And I can't tell you when I started these. It's been a while. But this is the same premises as that. You grab a skein and you just start crocheting around, and this is a very scrappy one. Very, very scrappy one. So of course in this one, I did find I had pulled yarns and everything. So this one, I did add another, this was a whole skein I put into this one, and this is what I have left that I did this week. Then I have all of those in there. So this one is one that, I don't know about you, but if you have yarns that, especially sock yarns, that you you buy and you're like, oh, I don't like that anymore, and I really don't want to make socks out of it, then that just goes into this. And this one is nice and heavy because it is double crocheted. I'm using a G hook, which is a 4.0 millimeter. And this one, I am just, like I said, double crocheting in every stitch. In the corners, I'm doing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So, and I am holding it double, inside and outside. And when it's done, I just do a magic knot on it. You can see them knots. I mean, I could just sit there and weave everything in, but it's good. It's just good. So, needless to say, how many blankets can one person do? So I have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But it gives me choices, is what it does. And so, and these really, you know, sometimes you just want something mindless you can sit in front of the TV and do, just like my sock knitting and the mystery crochet along one. I looked at the clues, and it's one of those that is just not mindless because you got specialty stitches in it, and so you got to pay attention. So yeah, but other than that, this afternoon, I mean, it's just been, well, the last few days have been beautiful here in Michigan. Gorgeous weather. It was 49 yesterday when we got up. Left the windows all open. Today it was 52, something like that. And it's like 77. Now our high humidity and high temps are coming back this weekend. So, but today I just didn't vlog hardly anything. I have a friend who had to have surgery. So between that and this afternoon running into town because Last night I ran out of ketchup. I make our ketchup. I went to pull out the last jar that was in there, and as I pulled it out, I heard a clang, and I looked down and the lid just slid off. I thought, of course. So of course you can't use it. I made it in December, and when I put them back, I check all the seals. I pick them up by the seals. I wash them with soap and water, so if anything should have came off, but something must have compromised it somehow. So of course Jerry, I mean, we just filled up the one that we have, so that will last a little bit. But when I make ketchup, I make it so it's like a triple batch, because by the time it cooks down, I might get 6 pints out of it. But of course, we didn't have any tomato paste because it's out of, well, I don't have enough tomato paste. I canned some tomato paste last year, but I think I'm down to just a couple, and I need like 48 ounces. And I need more white vinegar, and I was going to be a cup short on the honey, and the onion powder was just like down to here, and that wouldn't have been too much left. And so we just made a list and went in, and we have a store in town that's called Grown Made, something like that. Just took over ownership, and so it's a place where crafters can come in and sell their stuff that she has approved, but it has a lot of stuff like the homemade honey and baked goods, and today they had some vegetables in there. And so it's just stuff like that. So we went there and we got the honey because we just like using raw honey. And so this weekend I'll be making some of that. And there was something else that we were out of, they got to make, but it's getting to be that time of year, and now our son's family loves the ketchup. Whenever they're over, they always ask for another one, and so, but anyways, so we went and did all that, and then I stopped to another flower stand that I do on Fridays. There's 2 of them I go to, and this time I only did the one, and I got those flowers. They are beautiful, beautiful dahlias. She puts in there lamb's ear, and she puts in like dill and stuff like that. So that will be at the end as the closing thing. So, but anyways, I think that's all I have, my friends, that I can think of right now. Not thinking very clearly right now. It was just going to be, I'm tired. I think a lot of it is the stress of the friend having surgery, and she came out well, but now she's got 2 weeks of strict don't do so much, and then it's like up to 3 months recoup and therapy. And so she has a husband, and she has a adult daughter that still lives at home, so she does have the help. Her daughter works from home, and so she has the help and everything. Jerry's at the window. So yeah, so it was just nice knitting on socks this morning and getting those up to where they were. And then it's just been warm to, you know, crochet on the blankets that are over your lap, and so knitting socks is good, and or sewing on the English paper piecing. So anyways, I'm going to let you go, my friends, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will be back Tuesday, and yeah, till we can meet up again. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon. bye.